A man emerged from the bristling cluster and approached the picnic table. He wore a brown suit, well-worn boots, and a broken-down cowboy hat. His calm, fearless manner was enough to part the crowd. He gave Nicole and me a puzzled look, and then I saw the recognition in his eyes. He pointed to the badge clipped to his coat. "I'm Special Agent Rod Adams. What's going on? I thought we'd resolved all this." "I remember you, Special Agent," Harry said. "Hell if I know what's going on. This bunch of yahoos just showed up. They aren't none of my doing." The agent nodded. "I told my bosses it was probably something like that. Look, we can end this quickly and peacefully. Get these guns out of here. Tell them to go home. Maybe they'll listen to you." "Why should they?" Vanessa said. "They got a right to defend themselves. They can carry all the guns they want. It's their Second Amendment right." "Agent Adams is just following orders, dear." Harry put his hand on her shoulder, but she shook him off. Most of the protesters were openly displaying firearms, either guns in holsters or rifles being carried. "Maybe we should give them some time, Agent Adams," Harry said. "Let 'em shout themselves hoarse. They'll most likely go home if you don't provoke them." "I'd love to do that, Harry, but my bosses are insisting I do something." "That would be a mistake, Agent Adams. These boys are looking for trouble. With all those guns, someone might get hurt." "I agree," Adams said. "But see those news cameras over there? They're putting the pressure on." "The same news cameras that are going to keep you from doing anything," Vanessa said. Adams looked from Harry to Vanessa, as if asking who was in charge. Harry flushed a little but stayed silent. Adams turned abruptly and looked over at me. "What's he doing here?" Harry looked around, puzzled, as if not sure who Adams was referring to. His gaze passed right over Nicole and me. Adams nodded in my direction. "That's the man who shot it out with those guys up on Deadfall Ridge." "Really?" Harry said. "I don't know him. He came with Nicole, who's an old friend of the family." Adams stepped closer to me. Even through his strong cologne, I could smell the sweat under his bulletproof vest and jacket. "You looking to cause more trouble, Mr. Davis?" "No, sir. I didn't know any of this was happening. Nicole wanted to visit Mr. Johnson, and I just came along." Agent Adams looked skeptical. "If you don't have a good reason to be here, maybe you should get going before someone recognizes you." Vanessa Johnson broke in. "If you don't want trouble, Mr. Special Agent, maybe you need to back off. It's your damn uniforms that's riling these folk up. It's like we're in Russia or something." Adams merely nodded and shrugged. That's when I realized, and from the sudden lull, everyone else realized too, that Special Agent Adams wasn't really in control. No one was. It was as if everything was being dialed up by accident, as if a confrontation was inevitable because both sides were so certain they were right. I put my hand on Nicole's arm and dared to pull on it slightly. "Let's get out of here." Ordinarily, I wouldn't have dared try to move her where she didn't want to go, but I could tell things were about to get out of hand. She resisted for a moment and gave in. It was about that time that it all went to hell.